Welcome back to this week's San Diego People. I'm Sandra Moss, and today we're all about pets, and America's obsession with eating healthier has trickled down to our feline and our doggy friends. And joining me to talk about that is Kothel Walsh. He is the co-founder of Fresh Pet. Also with us today, Natalie Bellman. She is a nutrition expert with Petco. Thanks so much for being here.
My pleasure. Looking at
this here, this platter that we have and everything, this looks like people food we've got going on.
Well, it's made to the same standard, certainly. At Fresh Pet, we founded a company in 2005 with the simple idea that pets deserve the same, real food, less processed, more natural food that humans enjoy. So that's what we started out to do, and that's what we did. We've just rolled out nationally with Petco, and the food itself is very simple. Can I cut open a roll?
Absolutely, go ahead. And I'm curious why we have a platter of carrots and greens and berries. Is that what's in the food that you're about to show us?
That's exactly what's in the food that we're about to show you, yes. Unlike most pet foods out there in the market today, this is a meat-based diet. So if you think of a typical dry food, it's made of corn and wheat and so on and so forth, with meat added, of course. What we did was we went back to basics and said, if you were to make a food for pets from scratch, what would you put in it? It would be a meat-based diet. It would have some carbohydrates in there, not too much, peas, carrots, blueberries, vegetables, and all the stuff you see here.
And why is it better?
Well, it's better because that's where we stopped. We didn't put any preservatives in there. We didn't put any fillers. We just said, let's keep it simple. And that's why our food is perishable. The only preservative we use is the refrigeration. That's why if you were to walk into a Petco store and go down to the natural section, you'll see a large refrigerator in the pet store. And it is because, like real food, our food will spoil at room temperature. So you need to keep it refrigerated.
Well, let me ask Natalie. Natalie, as a nutritionist and specializing in pet nutrition, why is fresh? We know fresh is better for human beings, but a lot of people don't think much about feeding their pets. They'll just grab whatever's on sale in the grocery store. Right. What health benefits can your pet get from eating fresh?
Well, you know exactly what's in it, first of all. You know that there are not going to be any artificial colors, flavors, preservatives, or anything like that. I mean, you know exactly what's in there. And it's also very highly digestible as well. So,
Are there studies that show that pets that eat fresh food, like people who eat fresh food, live longer, have healthier lives?
Pets are the same as humans in that sense. If you eat a healthy diet, you're going to be less prone to disease, live a longer, happier, healthy life. And the same principle applies here.
Now, what made you decide to go into the pet food business to begin with?
Well, I used to work for a large pet food company in Australia. And I'd worked there for a number of years, and and in Australia, fresh food is a huge part of the pet food market there. If you were to walk into a store in Australia, you could see 18 to 24 feet of fresh refrigerated pet food. So I simply took that idea and brought it here to the States.
Riley, come here, baby. Well, the taste test is the important thing, of course. And we've got our little pooch over here who has been plied with treats all day. She's been such a good girl. So what are we giving her here?
This is Fresh Pet's Dog Nation treats.
And these are refrigerated too?
Yes. Everything we make is refrigerated and fresh. And it is, again, made with the same nutritional philosophy. Fresh, less processed meat. There you go.
I think she likes it. I think she's doing well.
You want another one? There you go.
She'll keep eating those till
I know.
Let me ask you, Natalie, about some other nutrition questions. America is in the midst of an obesity epidemic. I'm sure you see your share of overweight pets that you try to slim down.
Yes, absolutely. It's very interesting because a lot of people don't know that about half of all dogs in the United States and about 60% of indoor cats are actually overweight or obese. So a lot of people really don't know that. So you need to really know how much you're feeding your pet, first of all, but also what's going to work best for you and your lifestyle, and then also, therefore, your pet. So a really easy way that I like to do, of course, if you have any questions, if your pet is obese or anything, of course, consult your veterinarian first. But you want to take your hands like this. and have your pet right in front of you. And then you go down along their back, so your thumbs are on their spine. So we could do this
Yeah, come here, Riley.
with Riley.
This is the fat test, is it?
Right, the fat test.
Okay, let's get a close-up of the dog so we can see how the fat test works.
Want to hold up a treat?
Sure.
Are you
All
feeling
right.
for their ribs?
There we go. Yeah, you're actually going to go down and then feel for their ribs. If you can feel their ribs, let's try it. Let's try it.
Come here, Riley.
Hello.
So-
Okay, so we're going to go like this. We're going to go and we're going to feel. And I can feel Riley's ribs, so that's perfect. If you go down and you can't feel any ribs at all, then most likely your pet is going to be a little overweight.
So if your dog has love handles, you know you're in trouble.
Exactly, there you go.
So what do you do to help people slim down their pets? I mean, obviously, more exercise, less food, just like with humans.
In a way, absolutely. If you go to any Petco or Unleashed by Petco store, we do have Petco certified nutrition experts. And they will point you in the right direction, but you need to know how much you're feeding your animal. That is number one, I think.
And what are the biggest nutrition mistakes that humans make when it comes to feeding their cats and dogs and other pets?
Well, first of all, giving them table scraps is a big one. You want to cut down on the table scraps, and also overdoing the treats and feeding a little too much food is something. You want to feed to what their ideal weight is, not what they currently weigh.
Well, I think it's interesting, Katha, with all this fresh food. I mean, you say this is human worthy.
Yes, it is human worthy. And the portion control that Natalie mentioned is very important. You know, that's why we have portion controls on each roll. So if you cut from here to here, for example, it's a quarter pound.
Making it easy.
Exactly.
Keeping it easy.
We don't want people to overfeed their pets. Our food is extremely palatable, and you have to, as you saw earlier,
Yeah,
Riley.
Riley wasn't turning it away.
No.
Let me ask you, Natalie, what are some foods that you should never give your dogs? What kinds of foods and treats are dangerous?
Well, first of all, chocolate. I think a lot of people know that about chocolate, but they also have questions, how much. If you have a question about how much, consult your veterinarian. But also anything with caffeine in it, you want to stay away from. Any mushrooms or any fungus type thing. And then also onions is a big one as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so where can you get this new type of fresh pet food?
Well, it's distributed nationally at Petco and Petco Unleashed. So if you go into the natural section of the pet food store or of the Petco store, you'll see the large refrigerator there.
And they
And
say
help
when
yourself.
you change your pet's food that you should do it gradually. Is that the rule of thumb?
Yes,
Absolutely.
that's true of us even. If you have a sudden change in diet, you'll have a tummy upset. It's the same with dogs. So if you're going from a dry food, for example, and you want to introduce fresh pet, do it gradually over a period of a week.
Very good. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing. I appreciate it. Best
My
of luck
pleasure.
to you and your fresh pet group. And Natalie, thank you as well. When we come back, we are going to